Good morning. I call the meeting to order. Thank you all for coming. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. Today we have with us the chair, the people in front here, Gisela Rempel on my left. My immediate left is Mr. Mark Beretsky.
Come on in.
Our secretary today is Belen Rojo. The assessor is Candace Wright, and I am the chairperson, Robert Buss. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that the applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessment of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at the hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included in the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions from the assessor or the panel. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about the application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be a part of the public record. So we will start with 7 Leeds Avenue. Mr. Sang, take your seat, please.
Please state your full name.
That's right.
We affirm the evidence about presented the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
You have the option to swear in on the Bible or to affirm without it. Which would you prefer? Okay. Put your hand on the Bible. Please state your full name.
Lay John.
And you swear the evidence about presented the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Do you have any evidence you'd like to share? I just need 5 copies.
Okay, the application is to revise the 2020 realty assessment with respect to amount of assessed value. And we'll begin with the assessor. The floor is yours.
Thank you. The subject property's roll number is 0304029300. Street address is 7 Leeds Avenue. This is a one-story house located in Fort Richmond. The year built and effective year built are 1972. The living area is 1,268 square feet. There's a full basement with basement finish. There's 1 full bathroom, 2 half baths with 1 shower. There is central air conditioning, 1 fireplace, and an attached single-car garage. The lot size is 7,165 square feet, and the 2020 assessment is $360,000, which is $283.91 per square foot. And the property was purchased post-reference in September of 2018. I have 4 comparables that are all one-story houses located in Fort Richmond. The year built and effective year built ranges from 1965 to 1970. The living area ranges from 1,220 square feet to 1,284 square feet. All comparables have full basements with basement finish. All have 2.5 bathrooms. All have central air conditioning. Comparable number 2 has a fireplace. Comparables 1, 3, and 4 do not. All comparable properties have attached single-car garages. The lot sizes range from 6,011 square feet to 6,757 square feet. Comparable number 2 has some land influences, including a bus route, an external corner, and medium traffic. The sale prices for these properties range from $335,000 to $362,000. The time-adjusted sale prices range from $342,400 to $367,400. And the time-adjusted sale price per square foot range from $280.66 to $286.14.
Is that your evidence? Mr. Zhang, do you have any questions of the evidence that the assessor has presented?
Yes. About the basement, the evidence showed like the assessor side is finished. Actually, it's only like partially finished, like half finished, 75% finished.
Yeah, so we have it, we actually do list the square footage on our records. So the full basement area is 1,168 square feet, and we have 650 square feet being finished, so a little over half. On the brief, it just has yes or no, so there's
Okay.
completely finished.
Also, from the information provided, I don't know the like how many bedrooms in the comparable properties you show here. Like my house is 3 bedroom.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about the comparable ones. Are they also 3 bedrooms?
I do have copies of the listings here. So, yes, they're all 3-bedroom houses.
Another thing I noticed is the sales price for the comparable ones shown here. The sales year is all like 2017 or even earlier, like 2016. I bought my house last year, like September 2018. So it's like a year difference. I'm not sure if the market price like will decline in like as the year went by, because what I have here for the appraisal report before I got the house, the comparable ones are chosen all from last year around almost the same time. It's like June 2018, and I think they are more reasonable. And you can see the price. It's much different. So.
The assessor can explain
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah, so for the 2020 assessment, we're looking at a reference period, so we need to look at sales between April 1st of 2016 and April 1st of 2018. And then we apply a time adjustment to bring the sales price to the April 2018 market value.
Yep, that's my question for now.
Thank you. Panel members? Ms. Rempel?
I have no questions, thank you.
Mr. Beretsky?
Is there any difference between the way that the market would view the location of 7 Leeds versus, say, Briarcliff or Tulane Bay, the other comparables, when it comes to location?
I'm honestly not too sure. They are fairly close together. They're within the same neighborhood. So I would consider, they're all fairly close to the University and Pembina Highway, so I would think it would be a similar market.
Thank you.
The pictures on the third page of your brief, are they all of the subject property, or?
Yes, those were from the post reference listing.
I see.
And then the exterior, I did an exterior inspection July 31st, so I did that.
Pardon me, you did an exterior inspection?
Yeah, July 31st.
Okay. And did you take the picture on page 4?
Yeah, the larger exterior.
Supplementary question.
Yes, go right ahead.
Going back to location, the 7 Leads, it is close to Baylor. There are, on your map, large lots on the opposite side of Baylor. What is on the opposite side of Baylor?
I'm not 100% sure. I know there are apartment buildings on Baylor. I'm not too sure if that is where they're located.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, that's all our questions. If you want to present your evidence, the floor is yours.
It's your turn, you can go ahead and present
Oh,
your.
okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think he heard you.
Oh, yes, it is your time to present your evidence to us.
So, my house is a 1-story bungalow, with 3 bedrooms, a single garage attached. It's built in 1972, and as shown in the appraisal report I presented, a fair and reasonable price is about 335,000, and the price I paid for this house is 331,000 in the end. And the comparable ones I present here are all from the same neighborhood. They are very close. If you check, they are also built around the same year, around 1972. And also the living area is around 1,200 square feet. Sorry. So I think and based on the price, it's shown here. I think the appraisal estimated market value of 335,000 is a very reasonable price for my property. So that's what I want to say.
Okay. Assessor, do you have any questions of the appellant on the information he has presented?
I noticed in the appraisal report, all these sales are post-reference. Do you have any sales that occurred before April 1st of 2018?
Sorry, could you repeat it again? My question.
Do you have sales? We are looking at a reference period between April 1st of 2016 and April 1st of 2018, so I'm just wondering if you have any market evidence of sales that occurred during that time period.
That one I didn't prepare, but I do have a friend. They live like 300 or 400 meters from my place. They got the house in December 2017. They have the same 3-bedroom, also almost the same living area, and the price they pay is 338,000. It's in December 2017, but I didn't print that out. And also another thing I noticed is There is another house just across the road of my house. It's 10 Leeds Avenue. They sold it last year in winter, and the price they want to have is like 340, but in the end the deal price is only like 315,000.
Is that in your?
Oh, that one I didn't find the information on the internet, so I didn't print it out. But I know because it's just across the road. It's 10 Leeds Avenue.
Okay, and that
But-
took place
but,
after April 1st, 2018, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
but the room is a little bit different. They only have one bedroom, but it's also but the area is about the same.
Well, if it's not in your evidence, we really can't discuss it. More questions from the assessor? Ms. Rappel?
I'm just wondering, from looking at the pictures, it looks like a fair amount of renovations have taken place in the home. The pictures that the assessor provided us, that were from the listing. I'm wondering if you have made any other upgrades since you purchased the home.
I haven't upgraded anything on them. Most of them are good, but I do notice there's a crack in the one of the bathroom. I think the glue is not working, and I don't know how to call it, but it has a crack on the wall. But it's not the wall. It's something about the bathroom.
The baseboard,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah. So I noticed that. And the other things all function very well, and it's good, in good condition.
Have you made any improvements since you have moved into the home yourself?
So far, no.
Okay,
Yeah. Because I just got it last September, so far, no.
thank you.
Mr. Bretsky?
If the assessor hadn't asked, I would have asked if you had sales from before April 1st,
So first,
2018, but you've stated that you don't. I would just like to repeat for your benefit and for everybody else here that we're bound by the legislation and subsequent court cases to not look at sales information after the reference date. And we're also bound to not look at assessments as evidence of the market. The assessments could be wrong. We must look at actual sales, and they must be on or before that reference date for us to take them into account. So, general information.
Thank you. I have no other questions. We need
Mr.
to-
Chair, may I ask a question of the assessor, please, that I
Yes.
didn't ask
Go
previously?
right
I just had a question because in looking at these pictures, it looks to me as if there have been a lot of upgrades made to the home, which originally was built in 1972.
The subject property.
Yeah, I am wondering why it indicates on your comparable sales report that it's still effective age 1972.
Yeah, that may be something we need to look into.
Okay. And how is that normally looked into?
We have a way of calculating effective ages in the office. When we look at renovations that have been done, such as if the kitchen has been upgraded, the flooring, things like that.
Okay.
Way of calculating.
And that would be related to building permits, perhaps? As
Usually
one of
yes.
the,
Yeah.
so if somebody didn't take out a building permit, you
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be aware of it?
Mhm.
Okay, okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, either of you like a chance to summarize your information?
I think I'm okay, based on the reference period comparables, sale price and sale price per square foot. I believe the assessment is supported.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Zhang, would you like to summarize your information? You don't have to, but if you would like to, you're welcome to.
Well, basically, I appeal to have a reduction in the market assessment values because I just got the house last September, and appraisal report
leave it with us. We will look into it, and you will receive a letter in the mail shortly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
for coming. Six 23 Silverstone Avenue, Caleb Mahmood. Take a seat, please.
I'm swearing on the Bible to affirm that.
I guess not.
Please state your full name. And you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Thank you. Do you have any evidence you'd like to share with the panel? Just verbal information?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor first when you're ready.
Okay, thank you. The subject property is roll number 0304347000. Street address is 623 Silverstone Avenue. This is a one-story house located in the Fort Richmond neighborhood. The year built is 1956 and the effective year built is 1970. The living area is 1,454 square feet. There is a full basement with basement finish. There is one full bathroom, one half bath with one shower. There is no central air conditioning, no fireplace, and there's a detached single-car garage. The lot size is 6,472 square feet, and it is located on a bus route with medium traffic and a school. The 2020 assessment is $370,000, which is $254.47 per square foot. The subject property was purchased in 2013 for $315,000. I have 4 comparables that are all one-story houses. Comparables 1, 3, and 4 are located in Fort Richmond, and comparable number 2 is located in the Agassiz neighborhood. The year built ranges from 1961 to 1965. The effective year built ranges from 1961 to 1975. The living area ranges from 1,300 square feet to 1,461 square feet. All properties have full basements with basement finish. The bathroom count ranges from 2.5 to 3. All comparables have central air conditioning and none have fireplaces. Comparable number 1 has no garage. Comparables 2 and 3 have attached multi-car garages, and comparable number 4 has a detached multi-car garage. The lot size ranges from 6,268 square feet to 7,853 square feet. Comparable 1 has a hydro transformer located on the lot. Comparable number 2 is on an external corner, and comparable number 3 is on an internal corner. The sale prices for these properties range from $359,000 to $382,000. The time adjusted sale prices range from $364,400 to $399,000. And the time adjusted sale prices per square foot range from $267.94 to $299.71. I was in contact with the property owner before the hearing, and he sent in some photos which I included.
Is that your presentation? Do you have any questions of the assessor on the information that she has presented here?
Just two comments. First of all, excuse me for my bad throat, and at times I may be a bit louder.
Okay, this is question time though. This is question time on the information she has presented. You will have ample opportunity to present your,
Okay. The comparables here, some of them are corner properties which are much more valuable than this. And the other is that mine is not a centrally air conditioned, so this is it for now, unless I have a chance later to explain the other
you will have,
supporting evidence.
yes, we'll give you plenty of opportunity to explain yourself. Any questions from the panel?
Yes, I just have one question. I thought I heard you say that the subject property had one full bath, one half bath, and one shower. But this report says one full bath, two half baths, and a shower.
Yeah, it should be one full bath, two half bath.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Brzezinski, you have questions? Lisa?
So you provide as is standard these elements of the property, and you make the comparisons with other ones. How does the quality of the finish, the quality of the condition get accounted for in looking at the subject and at the comparables? So that would be the first part of my question. Secondly, locationally, if I just look at this map, would I be correct in concluding that these are fairly different types of locations? Am I correct in thinking Silverstone has a fair bit of traffic on it by comparison to the other streets?
Yeah, Silverstone would have more traffic.
Okay. You can tell from the map, there's a difference in lot size. I'm looking at the condition of the property as is apparent from these photos. Have you looked at the condition of the comparable properties, and do you know if they are comparable to the Silverstone property?
Sorry, I reviewed the listings of the comparable properties. They were all basically average condition with a few renovations, not fully renovated. I know there are a few issues with the subject property. Based on the price per square foot, it is actually lower than the comparables, and I feel that would account for the issues with the subject property.
Okay. So the effective age of the subject is 1970. Comparable one is 75. The others they have had no change, obviously, that you've recorded at least, made to those properties at all. That's correct.
Yeah, reviewing the listings, there's been, sorry, I'll just include this. Minor cosmetic updates, but none of them have been fully renovated. So likely no renovations that would have required permits.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so a follow-up on that question, do you know the reason for the effective age of 1970?
For the subject property?
Yes.
It did have some renovations. I have the listing here from 2013. It says remodeled kitchen with eat-in island area, large open living room, dining room, combination with hardwood floors, main bathroom with jetted tub, all windows are PVC. Just kind of skimming through and going through. But there have been some renovations in this room.
Thank you, that's all my questions. Mr. Mahmood, if you would like to give us your evidence, tell us about your property.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I don't want to be dishonest, I am on the road. I have a small comment on the bathroom you mentioned. Uh, It looks like it's one bathroom, main, and two, one shower and one half. But this property has two main bathrooms. The one shower, which is mentioned over here in your papers, the seller added a small sink and a toilet to that shower and made it like a bathroom. So I don't know if this information goes against me over here. I still want to be honest that it is like that.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah. Now, I bought this house as mentioned at 315,000. It was essentially bought for my two daughters who were going to the university at that time. And this was one of my first purchases, and I came to know later on it was highly overpriced. I was the only bidder to buy this, but I was content with this because I made a mistake and I got it. And the property was actually, as is mentioned over here, it's one of the oldest properties in the area. It's 1956. The seller at that time made some upgrades to sell the property, but I haven't upgraded anything in that property. The half bathroom, which is mentioned over here, is not usable because of the water flow and all that in that. There are a lot of defects in the property. I tried to sell this property 2 years back. I couldn't find a buyer. Last year I tried to sell it much below than this assessment, close to my purchasing price. But it was all my private efforts to, because my realtor told me, don't list the property if you are not happy with the price, because it will spoil the overall history of the house if you don't sell it. Then there will be doubts later on in the minds of the buyers that why this property was not sold 2 years back, why not last year and all this. So on a lighter note, please don't take it offensive. At this price, if city wants to buy this property, I will easily surrender this property. There is a single garage in that, which is also not usable because it is low, and the rainwater enters in that, and at the time of snow, when it melts, it makes the condition miserable, so it's totally not usable. Some of the pictures I have shown you in my communication with the good lady. If you look at it, one of the pictures, this upgrade the previous owner made was on a wood foundation, and that is the main part of the property which looks better because he added 2 bedrooms in that area, and it was a wood foundation, and it is already caving in on one of the sides, which is very visible. And any buyer I brought, this was the first remark made by it, because there is a slight bulge in the corner. Although I got it inspected through a certified inspection company, they told me it's fine. The structure is staying, so don't worry about that. And other things, the kitchen is old style. Actually, the property interior is in such an old style that people consider it as an old property in a good area. So I am not able to find a good buyer for my property because I initially spent higher. So those are one of the points. I haven't remodeled the property, I haven't upgraded the property since I bought. There is no value added except for that during a bylaw inspection, I was told that the bedroom created in the basement does not have an egress window. So I had to do that at my cost. That is the only, whether you call it upgrade or whatever it is, but it was essential because I was told I can't have a bedroom over there. And I am always finding it, after my daughters graduated, I always found it difficult to find a good tenant in that place because the properties around are in a much better shape. I mean, then one of my neighbor on my south side, he also had a similar property and he sold it for a much lesser price. Although he didn't tell me the true story, but he said he's asking for 285. His property might be slightly smaller than me, but that was it, I came to know. And as I earlier mentioned, it doesn't have a central air conditioning. The comparables are on a better location, especially one of the comparables is on close to Pembina, which is a prime location now. Everybody wants to go to Pembina. And then the other comparables are on Carnes, and they are much earlier on the bus route. I am almost on the last of the bus route. And they are closer to Dalhousie where they have cross buses also. So I mean,
Okay.
This is what I have, and yes, the increase, it's a $23,000 increase in just 1 year, which is almost 7% on the property. And my property has actually depreciated in value if I want to sell it. I don't know, papers are different, but I am just trying to say what I'm facing. I'm not challenging the papers, I'm not arguing against the bylaws and all these things. You guys have your own system to work. But I am really having a very hard time to manage this property either on rent or by selling it and all that, and so far it's ending up in losses for me. That's
Okay.
okay, I just want to say.
Thank you. Thank you for the information. We'll see if there's any questions from the assessor.
Yeah, you had mentioned you tried to sell the property. Was it listed on the open market?
No, I already mentioned it. My realtor advised me that if you won't sell it, it will spoil your history of the property because I will not be able to find a buyer close to your asking price. It could be close to what you bought, but not close to what it is assessed. So if you listed it 2 or 3 times, because I was desperate in selling, he says, the next, even if you list it, every realtor looks onto the history and he advises his buyer. So you will be ending up in either not selling or selling it on a par value of your purchase price. So that was the reason not to list it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was a mistake or not a mistake, but I did try to sell it 3 times. I was nowhere close to the assessment. It was all lower, and it would have ended up in even considering the cost of selling, paying the realtor and commissions and all these things. So I decided to stay because sometimes I do find some renters who are desperate, but they come, they quickly go. Because it's for them, not for me, but for them, it's not a very good livable property. But I was fortunate enough that I used it for 2-3 years when my daughters were graduating from the university. So that's the only benefit I got out of my property.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions?
So is the property currently rented out?
Part rent. 2 or 3 students are staying there because it is close to university and they are from one family.
Okay.
So that's it. I have to cover my bills from somewhere and
Ms. Rempel, any questions?
Yes, thank you very much. I am wondering, how much rent do you receive for this property?
it's not a fixed one. It's, as I told you, people hardly stay longer over there, sometimes 1,500, sometimes 1,800. things like that, and that is just enough to cover my mortgage and one or two bills.
So you say it's partially rented now, you have 2 or 3 students staying there.
Yeah.
If it was fully rented, how many students or people would be staying in that home?
It could increase to another 500.
No, but how many people, how many more people would you have staying?
First of all, I don't get too many people, but I don't want to stuff my property with 10 students or 8 students and all this. I hardly get more students because the other properties around are much more attractive from the university point of view than mine. Some are very close to the bus stop, some are close to the amenities, and mine is nowhere close to any amenities except for the bus stop.
I'm also wondering, I want to make sure I understand this correctly. There was an addition built onto the house with 2 additional bedrooms? Am I understanding
Before
that?
I bought.
Okay,
And it was through the permits and all that, because I dug out with the city, I took out all the old permits and all that. And that's why in one of those bedrooms, the egress window was a question.
right. You say that that addition is sinking, but you got it looked at and you were
Sorry.
told it was stable?
Sorry, it's not sinking,
Okay,
it's standing good.
okay.
But since it was a wood built foundation, it's this vertical studs, which on one side, the interior suggests that it was right there on the time of building. In 6 years with me, it has neither decreased nor increased. It is in the same condition, the paint stays over there, the stucco stays over there, and the inspector had a thorough look on that, and he said this is very common with the wood construction, so you need not worry about that. And since the 6 years, I have been noticing it on daily basis, it is standing as it is. But the point I made is that it convinces me as an owner, because in 6 years, it hasn't even developed a single crack in that portion.
Okay.
But it worries the buyer straight away, what is this? And it is very difficult to convince the buyer, where he will be spending, let's say, close to 370,000 its assessment, then he would ask, why should I buy, which is something. And it is it's a slight curve, it's hardly noticeable, but then the buyers always come with the inspectors too.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, so that inspector also told my buyer, don't worry, it's good because it is common with the wood. And he quoted some examples for some properties which are built in the Osborne area and all, and he said it is a standard approved construction method, and we are responsible for this. So, to me, I am living with it, it's okay, it's fine. But if I bring a buyer, his immediate intention is on that spot.
I understand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You said you tried to sell the home 3 times, and most recently you tried to sell it a year ago, is that correct?
Yeah.
And how much were you asking for the home?
I was asking for 360,
$360.
yeah.
Okay, and what do you think is a fair assessment for your home?
I did not challenge the last assessment. Sorry if this is not the proper word. I did not question the last assessment, you can take it that way. Thinking that it is good enough for me because I wanted to sell it. So you can always show the seller that, look, this is city's assessment, so, but that is a gone case now. I didn't argue it last time, so I think the one which was last time is a real assessment. Because I move around in the area, I see in my line, the age of the property is such that you will find boards for sale all around in that area because it's a university area, but not in my life.
Okay.
So, and this
So-
is essentially because of the age of the property. Although it's a good lot, as a dimension, front and length, but it's an old property. People want the garage over there, usable garage, people want
So what do you
air
think a fair
conditioning.
assessment would be? That's my simple question. I understand all those things from your presentation. I'm just wondering, you said it had gone up $23,000 since the last
Yeah.
assessment. So is it $347,000 that you think is a fair assessment?
I think, I have to be honest, that's a fair assessment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, what amount?
347.
Mr. Bresky, any questions?
You said that the garage is not usable, bathroom is not usable, half bath, was it?
Yeah.
Have you received any estimates as to what the cost would be to fix those so that they were usable?
No. As I said earlier also, I'm trying to live with the property because the good idea of asking for the estimates is when I want to do it. And I don't have the money to do it. Until I pool some resources and I am okay with that, that is the time I will call for estimates and all that, and if it is viable, I pay them and get it done.
All right.
But
Uh,
since this house is part of the master bedroom, and the full bathroom is just beside that, so it's doing the job, and it's actually the same connection, it's just behind the wall, and the access to the toilet is very limited. If I want to sit comfortably on the toilet, I can't.
Okay.
But these are,
I'd like to move on. You had your daughters living in it initially after purchasing it in 2013, and you have been renting it out since. How many years have you rented it out?
about 3 to 4 years.
3 or 4 years. And did you have any trouble finding tenants, or have tenants come and gone?
It's a complicated issue. I don't think there is shortage of tenants in that area as long as we are talking of students. Since there are many students around, families don't want to stay there. And students is, you don't know them. Some of them are fresh graduates. They come from different ethnic groups. Some find it good, some find it, oh, I'm going tomorrow. So it wouldn't be fair for me to give a straightforward statement, because I have been experiencing a lot of problem handling the students. So I reduced that, because in this age with diabetes, blood pressure and all, I can't take that stress. So as long as I figure out I am just managing my bills on that,
All right.
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that one day I will be lucky to sell it.
Do they sign leases?
They are month to month,
Month-to-month leases?
not
Signed?
lease, not in written form. They don't want to.
Verbal agreements?
Yeah, verbal
Month to
agreements,
month? Okay.
yes.
All right, thank you. That's all my questions.
I have no questions. Would you like a short summation from the assessor, if you would like?
That's okay.
Okay. And would you like a short summation? I think you've told us pretty well about your house.
I'm glad I've done that, so that's it. I mean, with my physical condition, with my financial conditions, although they may not be considerable on your rules and regulations and all that, but I just make a plea to ease my life.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
for coming, and you will hear from us. You will receive a letter in the mail
Thank you,
shortly.
everybody here.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening patiently.
You're welcome.
So I may leave or?
Yes, you're free to go. And next, we will hear from 14 Louisiana Place. Gisella McLean. for coming.
The afternoon, sir. Sorry, please state your full name. And you, sir, the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Thank you. Do you have any evidence you'd like to share with the panel?
Yes, actually, just wrote it myself, but I'm hoping that'll be okay. And they're gonna have to share, this is my taxes, my income that I have, and pictures, but I don't have one, so we'll have to share those.
Would you like me to make photocopies of her documents?
I just have pictures of one, and if you can share them, it's just about the ceiling and the, she told me to take pictures of the house, but you.
Yeah,
have
maybe
them
we
up
could,
close.
the pictures we can all just pass back and
And
forth.
the other one is handwritten, I'm sorry. I just came,
Yeah, that would maybe you should, the handwritten notes, you could photocopy and we'll have them for the.
oh, I have 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
I have 3 of those, I just don't have the pictures.
Should just make a photocopy so you'll have one of your own. Okay. We'll begin with the assessor's information.
The subject property is roll number 030406-00000. The street address is 14 Louisiana Place. This is a one-story house located in Fort Richmond. The year built and effective year built are 1974. The living area is 1,317 square feet. There is a full basement with no basement finish. There are 1.5 bathrooms, no central air conditioning, no fireplace, and an attached single-car garage. The lot area is 7,570 square feet, and it's located on an external corner. The 2020 assessment is $317,000, which is $240.70 per square foot. There are 4 comparable properties, which are all 1 stories located in Fort Richmond. The year built and effective year built range from 1973 to 1975. The living area ranges from 1,176 square feet to 1,317 square feet. All comparables have full basements with basement finish. The bathroom count ranges from 1.5 to 3. All have central air conditioning. Comparables 2 and 4 have fireplaces. Comparables 1 and 3 do not. All have attached single-car garages. The lot sizes range from 6,157 square feet to 7,557 square feet. Comparable number 1 is on a bus route with medium traffic, and it's located on an external corner. And comparable number 4 is located near a community center with light traffic. The sale prices range from $300,000 to $361,000. The time adjusted sale prices range from $317,100 to $372,200. And the time adjusted sale price per square foot ranges from $268.10 to $282.61. I met with Rosella as part of the preview program at the end of February 2019. And at that time, she had mentioned some issues with the house. So staff from our department attempted to schedule an inspection, but they weren't receiving a response, so we weren't able to inspect any additions at that time. And then I contacted Rosella a couple times, July 23rd and 29th. She did get back to me and say she was out of town until this week. So we were able to speak yesterday morning, but due to time constraints, I wasn't able to inspect the property.
So nobody has been you were not at the property.
I wasn't able to inspect the interior. I did drive by on July 31st. I have a couple photos there that I've included of the exterior of the house. But no, we were never able to coordinate the inspection.
That's your presentation?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions of the assessor on the information that she has presented?
Yes, I was able to get cheap flight out to Vancouver to visit my family, and so I was not available. And so when I did come back, well, I called her actually from Vancouver, but I told her when I got back I would give her a phone call. So that's why I ended up writing out things instead of printing everything out, or having it typed out, I should say, because I've just been back. And I've lived in my home for 30
Okay,
years.
but this is questions on the evidence that she has presented. You will have a fair chance to give us
Okay.
your story.
Okay, that's about it.
That's, okay, our panel members, Ms. Rempel, do you have any questions of the assessor, the information she's presented?
No one, thank you.
Mr. Bretsky?
So then, do you know what the date was of the last inspection of the property?
I'm not too sure. I know she has attended the preview program a couple of times, but it looks like an inspection, we never been able to coordinate an inspection, so I'm not sure when the last one.
What condition information do you have?
Rosella had indicated that her property needs work to be able to sell it. I know she had mentioned some issues with the roof.
Sorry, I can't hear.
Issues with the roof, that you mentioned, a roof bone cracking the roof. Those are the issues I'm aware of. Again, not being able to inspect our homes.
What do your records show the condition of the?
Well, currently we have it as average conditions since we have been able to do inspection.
That's all my questions.
Thank you. I see comparable number 3 is the exact same size. Do you know anything about that? Is that built by the same builder, possibly, something like that?
I'm not too sure about the builder. Yeah, I'm honestly not too sure.
Did you drive by, were you able to drive by 80 Magdalene?
No, I did review the MLS listing. I was not able to drive by the property.
Okay. How would you rate the location of the subject in comparison to the comparables?
I would say it's a fairly good location. It's located on Bay. It is on a corner, so it would experience more traffic. And
What street is that running by that she is on the corner of?
I'm not too sure what street that is.
On the corner of Michigan and Rice.
Michigan. Thank you. That's all my
I'm
questions.
sorry, Michigan and Louisiana.
Michigan, right, yeah. That's all my questions. If you'd like to give us your information now, the floor is yours.
Okay, my home, basically, I would say is in poor condition because I haven't upgraded any of my home. I've been in there for 34 years. I'm a single person in the home. I had a family when I started. But I'm only making under $18,000 a year, and I'm on subsidy by the city. So I'm trying to upgrade as much as I can, but I can only do a little bit at a time. I have not had any new windows or doors. I still put plastic on my windows, and I get my daughter to help me, thank goodness. I actually spent over $100 to come here last year and this year, and it's really bothering me that I have to come and keep coming because it's expensive for me to have to keep doing this. I'm hoping that this time I can lower my assessment. I don't think I could sell my home for probably more than $250, if that. I have no central air, I have no fireplace, I have a one-car attached garage. I have pictures here of my ceiling, well, inside and out. Basically, my home has shifted, because the city allowed our park to be taken over, and ended up with 4 homes being built on the park area. We complained and we fought it, but there was a city assessor that wanted a building. She now is divorced and has sold the property, which really bugs me, because since then I had the people on the bay, actually, they built higher, and so on our bay we're lower, because the city made these people build higher. And I had a flood, and so did my neighbors have a flood at the time after they built. I had no problems with flooding previous to that. And because of that, my home is, I used to sleep downstairs in the basement in the summertime. I don't dare sleep down there because I know there's, what do you call it? Mold. And so I've tried to keep it down as much as possible, but I know it's not healthy. I am a nurse, so I know it's not healthy. So my daughter said, don't sleep down there. So I have fans and a bit of AC that keeps me reasonably okay. But I have pictures of my ceilings in about 4 different places. I can show you.
Is that what we have here?
Oh, did you have it?
I think we have the
Okay.
pictures, yes. These are cracks in the ceiling.
Yes. And that has to be fixed, and my furnace is the same furnace that I had when it was built. It's gonna have to be replaced. So I have a lot of things needing done, let's put it this way. I wanna live in my home, I'm healthy, and I would like to be able to live in my home till I'm 90 if possible. But if my assessment keeps going up like this, I can't afford it. It just comes down to that, basically.
Okay. We'll see if the assessor has any questions.
It went from 285, which I thought was high at the time, to 317, and that's way too high. Like,
Okay.
I don't understand why it jumped like that. So,
Ms. Rempel, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you for your presentation. I am wondering, when did you buy your house?
in 1985,
So you've been resident there since
34 years.
1985. And I am wondering, when was this park next to your home converted to houses?
approximately, well, we had that flood time in 97, and I think they were built just before that.
So around 1996,
5, 96, I'd have to call the city to find out exactly.
And then when did your house flood?
In 97, I think, that was that big flooding time.
Okay.
Or no, it was before that, sorry. It was after after the homes were built, basically. So if I could figure that out, it might have been 95, I think,
Okay.
maybe 95,
So it's a while ago.
yes.
Okay. And was there any remediation done in your home after the basement was
Yes,
flooded? Did
they-
you have insurance and?
I did have insurance, and they did fix as much as possible, but then I put a sump pump and a backup valve in, so I wouldn't have any problems. And my sump pump didn't work, so I had a second flooding, and I
Okay.
think that's when I got that mold area,
Okay.
because I didn't have the insurance anymore.
Oh, all right, so it wasn't remediated
So it.
the second time?
No.
Okay. You also mentioned that you used to sleep in the basement and now you couldn't do that
Just in the
anymore.
summertime,
Because-
yeah.
Yeah, because of the mold.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust it.
Okay, and you said you had a bit of air conditioning now.
I have one of those room air ones that I put
Like a
up
window
on the
air
window,
conditioner?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
and my daughter helps me put it up. But that's all I have at the moment, and it's supposed to be enough for the house, but it's not really, but it helps.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are all my questions, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Mr. Boretsky, questions?
Where are those new houses that were built at a higher
They're
grade?
right across from me on Michigan. They're, I'm in the corner lot, and they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, right across, including on the street, by the Louisiana street. I have that,
Show me the map.
um,
So,
okay,
you're on a cul-de-sac, correct?
I'm
You're the-
on it's right here, you can't actually,
Just off of this map.
just opposite me, and opposite the house across from me like I'm on the left, the house on the right of my
Mhm.
bay, it would be those 1, 2, 3, 4, those right here.
You call this a bay. This is a cul-de-sac. Your little
I'm
street
in a
there, it's a
bay.
little round
Yeah,
thing.
we're in a bay, and these were the ones that were
Okay,
put
sorry,
on.
I'm getting confused by your describing this as a bay. I wanna make sure we're talking about the right location.
I'm sorry, a place, Louisiana place.
Okay, that is a
But
cul-de-sac, not a bay.
It's, I call it a bay.
Okay, but that's the wrong term, and if you use it, you're gonna confuse us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. of
Okay,
us.
and it is on this cul-de-sac that some new lots were built?
No.
No.
Right, see where this,
Okay.
it doesn't,
There's a street
Can
that
I
the
show-
cul-de-sac comes.
Yes,
certainly-
please come show us.
okay, this is my place.
Yep,
And, whoops, this is Michigan.
that's Michigan, okay.
And these 4 houses right here between me and this one.
Okay, and they're built at a higher grade.
They were built on a higher grade, and I complained to the city, and of course, my husband at the time was an engineer, and he complained, of course, but they did nothing about it, basically. And so we have to live with it.
So this is storm water that you're saying crossed Michigan and entered your property?
I think it's just that that's what my husband said is that they couldn't handle as much because of these 4 new houses plus our bay. And they came and kind of said, oh, it's okay, when the engineers came
So
to
did
look at it.
water then?
But it wasn't okay.
Water was ponding on Michigan as a result?
I have water on Louisiana all the time in an area, but it's not causing a problem, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
ponding there, I guess you'd call it. But no, this was a flood.
Okay. And
I had like that much water in my basement.
does it continue to
No.
cause a problem?
No, I have a sump up and a backup valve.
Okay.
And I've been trying to make sure it works.
Yeah, right.
So, but I had neighbors that told me they had flood too, had
Right.
flooded at the same time I did.
Okay. Have you ever sought estimates for remediating some of the problems that there are with the house? You know, not making cosmetic changes, but things like the cracking or something like that? Have you ever had estimates from contractors?
No, I haven't done any estimates. I've just been living in my home.
Thank you. That's my question.
Thank you. I see by this information that this is a Realtor's.
Yeah,
Did you list it for sale, or were you?
no, she just goes around and does this for everybody.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And
Drops it in
so
your mailbox.
I always have a picture of my house on my fridge.
Okay, I think I know what you mean. I have no more questions. Would the assessor like a short summation?
Yeah, I feel that the property is assessed lower than the comparables currently to account for any issues, and also if the basement is.
Could you speak up a little, please?
So based on the assessment and the price per square foot, the subject property is currently assessed less than comparable properties, to account for any issues in the house.
Okay, thank you. Anything else you would like to add?
I would like to
Summation.
see my assessment go down to 250,000, but if it doesn't, at least, hopefully it'll go down.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank
Leave
you.
it with us and we'll have a good look at it and you will receive a letter from them.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Do I get my one to put on the fridge back? I don't know.
I gave them all back to you.
Oh, I have. Sorry.
No worries.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 183 Dalhousie Drive, Mr. Actor.
Actually, I have to pay my
Parking.
parking, so can I switch next one?
Sure,
If you-
that'll be good.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. 12 Colchester Bay, Mr. Burnett.
Hello.
Hello.
Would you like to swear in on the Bible or to affirm the tithe?
I'll swear. Yep.
Please state your full name.
William Joseph Burnett.
And you swear to be able to represent the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do you have any evidence you'd like to share with the panel?
I don't think so.
Just for information?
I have some written, but I've decided based on some things I've heard that I'm unlikely to use it. If that changes, I will seek guidance from the board.
Okay, the assessor first of 12 Colchester.
Okay, thank you. Subject property's roll number is 10038444000. The street address is 12 Colchester Bay. This is a two-story house located in South Tuxedo. The year built and effective year built are 1986. The living area is 2,600 square feet. There is a full basement with basement finish. There are 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, and 2 showers. There is central air conditioning and 1 fireplace. There's an attached multiple car garage. The lot size is 9,166 square feet, and the 2020 assessment is $736,000, which is $283.08 per square foot. I have 4 comparable properties that are all 2 stories located in South Tuxedo. The year built and effective year built range from 1983 to 1989. The living area ranges from 2,546 square feet to 2,601 square feet. All have full basements. Comparables 1 and 3 have basement finish. Comparables 2 and 4 have unfinished basements. The bathroom counts range from 2.5 to 3.5. All comparable properties have central air conditioning. Comparables 1 and 2 have 2 fireplaces. Comparable number 3 has 1 fireplace, and comparable number 4 has 3 fireplaces. All of the comparables have attached multiple car garages. The lot sizes range from 9,004 square feet to 10,393 square feet. Comparable number 4 is located on an external corner. The sale price of these comparable properties ranges from $660,000 to $788,000. The time adjusted sale prices range from $695,600 to $790,400. and the time adjusted sale price per square foot ranges from $267.44 to $309.48. I did attempt to contact the owner. I left messages on July 29th and July 30th, but I received no response, so I was not able to verify the condition of the property.
You were unable to verify.
The condition of the property.
And is that your presentation?
Yes.
Mr. Burnett, do you have any questions of the assessor on the information that she has presented?
I do have a few. I'll be very brief. And I'll begin by apologizing to the assessor. I received both of her messages after work last night because I came into the city from, I was at the lake with my grandchildren. So I didn't get your messages till it was too late, and I do apologize for that. My appeal of the assessed value is very straightforward, so I will give you that presentation. I'll wait for my turn. I just have a few questions for the assessor. And some of these things you have covered, so I'll be very brief. I noted that comparable 3 has an in-ground pool,
Yes.
and that it's about just under 500 square feet larger than my property. Actually, it's 444 if my questionable math is correct. You'd agree with that?
For the lot
Comparable
size.
number 3.
Yeah.
It's a larger lot, and I calculated it to be 444 square feet larger. Comparable 4 has 3 fireplaces. The square footage is 10,393 square feet, which I calculate to be 1,227 square feet larger than my property. It's about 14% larger. If you disagree with me, Ms. Wright, please, I'm just trying to be sure I get this information before the panel.
Yeah.
Do you have a question of?
Well,
Ms. Wright?
I guess I could ask her every time. I could say, do you agree that it's 1,227 square feet larger? But I'm just trying to do this quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that all right?
Yes.
So my point is that comparable 4 is the lot size is quite a bit larger than the subject property. Would you also, I will do this in question format, I'll take the member's suggestion. Of the comparables you provided, which comparable is closest to my property?
Sorry, just one moment. I would say comparable number 1. It's the closest in size and has basement finish.
And I actually was meaning proximity as opposed to,
Oh.
just in terms of, it's like 3 doors away from my house.
Yeah, it's actually close to as well, and there's a map.
Right, and in fact, the map is what I was, and I apologize, my question wasn't
Okay.
as correct as it should have been. I did an average of the first 2 comparables, because as you will hear, it's my position that they are the most similar to my house. The average sale price of those 2, if my math is correct, and if you dispute this, please let me know, is $672,500. You want to take a moment to check that.
And we do use time adjusted.
And I'm getting to that as
Okay.
well.
Okay. Yep.
And the time adjusted average is $706,750.
Yeah, that is right.
Yeah. Now, on your map, I'm just looking at the 3rd page of the material, which I believe the panel has.
Yes, we have it.
If you could just look at the location of comparable 4 for a moment. And then just to the right of it, you have an indication Coleraine Crescent. And if you go up to where Coleraine Crescent meets Portsmouth, at the very top of your map, there's a lot. Did you know, or do you know, that lot is to Coleraine Crescent?
I was not aware of that.
All right, okay. Would you agree with me that regardless of whether it's 2 Coleraine Crescent or some other address, that that lot is shown on your map is in the same neighborhood as my property, that is South Tuxedo?
Yes, it should be.
Excuse me, I couldn't hear that.
Yes.
And my information is it's the same market region, which is 7, again.
Yeah, the general area is 7, and then it's split into smaller neighborhoods.
Okay. And I'm not trying to be unfair to you, I just don't feel that if I don't put the questions to you, if I give evidence. I know a little about law, so I'm obliged to ask the questions. So, were you aware that the size of 2 Coleraine Crescent is 10,278 square feet?
No, I haven't reviewed that properly.
The assessor hasn't presented that as evidence, so you can, if you have evidence on that, you can present it.
I will.
In your turn.
Okay, and
Okay.
you'd rather I wait to do that?
Yes, because that's not part of her evidence. This
All right.
is questions on her evidence.
The last question relates to the legislation that I understand you utilize when you perform your job, which I believe is primarily the Municipal Act. And my understanding, and I'm no expert at all in this, is that the objective is to ensure that the value of the assessed property bears a fair and just relationship to the assessed value of other assessed properties in the same neighborhood. Would you agree with that?
Yes, but we need to look at properties that sold during the reference period. We can't compare assessments.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Rampel,
No, I have no questions, thank you.
Mr. Brinsky?
I have no questions.
Overall, how would you rate the subject's location compared to the 4 comparables that you presented?
I would say they're all located in South Tuxedo, so fairly similar location. Comparable number 1 is located very close to the subject property.
Okay. And did you drive by the property?
I did, and we did just an exterior photo when I was able to drive by on July 31st.
That's all my questions. Mr. Burnett, if you'd
Yes,
like to present your information,
I
please
will,
do.
and as I indicated, I'll be very brief. Panel members, it is my position that the assessed value is too high and does not reflect the value of the assessed property, and further, that it doesn't bear a fair and just relationship to the assessed value of other assessed properties in the municipality within the meaning of the Municipal Act. I don't mean to make this a legal presentation, but
Small Point Municipal Assessment Act, which is different than the Municipal Act. They're 2 separate pieces of legislation.
you're right, and it's the Municipal Assessment Act. I'm sorry, did I put it incorrectly to the witness? Because it is the Municipal Assessment Act that I'm not that familiar with it, but I've read it. And that is the act that applies. Thank you for that. I wish to advise the panel that there's really 2, what I would describe as structural issues with the house. The house was built, I'm the original owner, it was built in 1986. It has wood-framed windows. And somewhat magically, those windows start to cloud after 25 years. The warranty's 25 years. It started when the 26th year and thereafter. So I have been replacing the glass in the windows, but I've been advised that all of the windows, because of the wood frame, will have to be replaced soon. I have obtained estimates. I have not gotten written estimates, I'm telling you that. But the estimates I've gotten from 2 reputable people. One was in the vicinity of 25,000, and the other one, which kind of shocked the heck out of me, was 35,000. The second point is the the driveway is the original driveway, it's a concrete driveway. Ms. Wright has captured a nice image of my house, I thank her for that. It is, I don't know what the right expression is, but there's a crack up the center of the driveway, and it goes from the street to the house, and it's in need of replacement. I have not got a quotation for that, but I'd be very surprised if it was less than $5,000 or more dollars. I believe that a reasonable assessed value would be $685,000, and I would base that entirely on the assessor's report provided to you this morning. I don't think comparable 3 is appropriate given the size of the lot and the pool. And I don't believe comparable 4 is appropriate, particularly given the size of the lot. It's my respectful submission to you that comparables 1 and 2 are the closest comparables. And as I inquired of Ms. Wright, the sale value average was $672,500, and the time adjusted value was $706,750, and the if you take into account what I'm indicating as the window situation, the driveway, I submit to you that 685 would be appropriate. I want to bring to the panel's attention that there is a home that is identical to my home at 2 Coleraine Crescent. It's got the same plans, it's got the same design. It is 3 minutes from my front door. And I was not at all trying to be unfair to the assessor. It is located in that lot, just where Coleraine and Portsmouth meet. The house at 2 Coleraine has a swimming pool, and according to the information I've taken from the city records, the lot size is 1,112 square feet larger than my property. Now, I've heard the panel this morning. I understand full well that other assessed values are not evidence of market value. But I would like to just make this submission to you. The assessed value of 2 Coleraine is $696,000. And if I read the Municipal Assessment Act correctly, it says that the objective is to ensure that the value of the assessed property bears a fair and just relationship to the assessed value of other assessable properties in the municipality. That's the wording I've written in. So my last comment is that if you are so inclined to reassess the value of my property to $685, given the window situation and the driveway, that would bear a fair and just relationship to the assessed value of other accessible properties in the community. That's my submission.
I will make a comment on that. The test to see if they are assessed fairly to each other is through sales. To just compare it without having sales to back it, to test it by, then we don't know if Coleraine is assessed correctly. So to just make yours similar to Coleraine, we might be.
I would agree with you, Mr. Chairperson. The evidence I'm relying on is actually the evidence the assessors provided, like the values they provided.
Yeah.
Aside from that.
Very good.
And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well, we'll start and see if the assessor has questions for you.
No, I have no questions.
No questions? Panel?
Yes,
Sally?
thank you. I am wondering, you say you were the original owner of this home, and
Yes,
I'm anticipating you had it built.
I did.
Okay. And you have owned it since 1986.
I have.
Have there been any upgrades made in the home since you built it?
Yes, as indicated on the on the assessment or on the sales information provided by the assessor, the basement was finished.
Okay.
Well, let me be a little more precise. Half of the basement was finished. There's half of it that is left in its original state because it has the furnace, and it's a storage area, and the front half has been finished.
And that's the only upgrade you've made since 1986?
I've replaced, there's a deck that goes out the back. I've replaced the deck out of the back, and I have repainted two bathrooms. It has, I probably should have told you this, it has, although I'm a little uncertain based on the letter I got from the city, but I'll tell you this in response to your question. It has the original carpeting. In fact, it has all of the original flooring that was put in 1986, including the, what's the wood flooring, the slab wood flooring. The kitchen.
Hardwood?
Hardwood, thank you.
Okay.
Same hardwood, and the kitchen has not been upgraded in any way.
Okay.
The house itself has been a fantastic house, but we have done little, and my wife has constantly talked about how it needs refreshing, and I keep thinking of money.
I'm also wondering about the estimates that you provided to us, the verbal estimates for the replacement of the windows. And I am wondering, you say you don't have anything in writing, but when did you obtain those estimates of the $25,000 and the $35,000 for the windows?
Last fall, one was from a company in St. Boniface, the name of which I was trying to actually find this, because I think that company did give me a written estimate, and I could not find it last night, and I would like to have brought it for you. That company said it would be between $35,000 and $40,000. Like, I just gagged at this amount of money. And the other company, as I say, was in the $25,000 range. Now, I think that they were adding a pane. I think they were going from whatever number of panes I had.
Double to triple, perhaps?
I think that's right. So, but the windows themselves, I can tell you right now, there's a patio door, which I've replaced once already. I'm going to have to replace again because it's got this air leak or whatever. And I have been told by those individuals that looked at it and gave me the estimates, as well as others, that I'm on a short time period for replacement.
Okay, and I'm wondering, I just want to confirm that you don't have any other more comparable, as you would feel, homes where you have taken a look at the sales from 2016 to 2018?
I have a number of friends who are in the real estate business, and I thought, I spoke to them. I purposely didn't get into that because they both told me I wanted a report, it would cost a certain amount of money. That aside, I am not disputing the comparables that the city have presented, except to the extent that I've mentioned to you that I think two are more appropriate than the other two. I have a legal background, so if I tell you what I have been told, it's hearsay, so I'm not sure you want that. But I can assure you that what I'm looking for is completely within what I have been told is a realistic sales value.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Gretzky?
No questions.
I have no questions either.
I thank you. Oh, sorry.
If you'd like a short summation, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, just to summarize, I believe that the comparables do have different features, things like different lot sizes, whether or not there is basement finish. But based on the sale prices and the sale prices per square foot, I believe the subject assessment is correct. I just wanted to note that comparable number 2 has an unfinished basement, so an adjustment would need to be made to that sale price to account for the basement finish as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
I have nothing further, and I want to thank the council for their time.
thank you for coming.
And, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Morning. We shall take a short
Thank you.
5-minute recess, and then we will continue on.
Bible or to affirm without it? Okay, please state your full name. And you affirm the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you have any evidence you would like to share with the panel?
In between my discussion, is that okay?
It's up to you guys.
Because I just bring, sorry, unfortunately, I bring one copy. So once I just talking, then I can share, or do I need to do first?
You can do it when,
I can share this one first, no problem, and others, I will share one by one. Unfortunately, I did only one.
Answer first.
okay, so, assessor, anytime you're ready.
Thank you. The subject property is roll number 0304382600. The address is 183 Dalhousie Drive. This is a two-story house located in Fort Richmond. The year built and effective year built are 1982. The living area is 1,200 square feet. There is a full basement with basement finish. There are 1.5 bathrooms. There is central air conditioning and one fireplace, and there is a detached single-car garage. The lot size is 3,311 square feet, and there are influences on the property, including that it's located on a bus route with a bus stop. There is commercial adjacent and medium traffic. The 2020 assessment is $305,000, which is $254.17 per square foot. The property was purchased in 2013 for $265,000. I have 3 comparable properties that are located in the Fort Richmond neighborhood. They're all 2 stories. The year built and effective year built ranges from 1966 to 1977. The living area ranges from 1,408 square feet to 1,530 square feet. All comparables have full basements with basement finish. The bathroom count ranges from 1.5 to 1 full and 2 half baths. All comparables have central air conditioning. Comparable 1 and 3 have fireplaces, and comparable number 2 does not. Comparable 1 and 2 have attached single-car garages, and comparable 3 has a detached multi-car garage. The lot sizes range from 5,937 square feet to 13,150 square feet. The sale prices range from $297,945 to $363,000. The time adjusted sale prices range from $319,700 to $371,100. And the time adjusted sale prices per square foot range from $227.06 to $257.35. The homeowner did attend the preview program, and at that point, staff from the assessment department decreased the assessment from $326,000 to $305,000.
Okay, do you have any questions on the information the assessor has presented?
Yes, I just want to know what is the basis for the assessment? Is that only sale price of that house, or the sale price of the nearby houses?
It's based on the sales of comparable properties that occurred during the reference period. So sales of similar houses in the neighborhood between April of 2016 and April of 2018.
Is that your questions?
Yeah, that's okay.
Panel members? Giselle, do you have any questions?
No, I have no questions, thank you.
Mr. Berensky?
I do.
Compared with the other ones that we have seen this morning, when in Fort Richmond area, where your comparables were, relatively speaking, what I'd call fairly tight, quite similar types of properties. What happened here?
Yeah, that-
I'm noting that the year built, those are quite different. The living areas are quite different. the lot sizes are quite different.
Yeah, that was an issue with this property is, it seemed that sales of 2 stories in the neighborhood were all quite a bit larger than the subject property. So it's just an issue of being limited to the sales that occurred, and it seemed that there weren't many sales. Similar sized properties and similar lot sizes.
Where else in Fort Richmond, or tell me if there's a comparable neighborhood elsewhere, would you have 2-story narrow lot houses? Is there any place else in Fort Richmond, or is it only on Dalhousie?
I'm honestly not too sure if within Fort Richmond, I know other areas of the city where that happens, but I tried to stay within Fort Richmond as a unit neighborhood, and I'm not too sure if there are other 2 stories around 1,200 square feet within Fort Richmond.
What condition information do you have about the subject?
The owner sent in photos during the preview program. I believe it was end of February, or March 7th, sorry, 2019. So I've included those photos with my brief. So the subject property, as you can tell in the photos, is a bit dated. It looks like the kitchen is older, bathrooms are likely older. And that was another consideration when selecting comparables, was we attempted to look for properties that were in a more dated original condition.
So there have not been significant upgrades?
Not that I know of.
And you said that as a result of discussions at the open house, there was a reduction?
Yes, it was originally at 326,000, and it was reduced to the 305,000.
Okay, that's all my questions.
I have a question that's sort of on the same lines. The square foot, the time-adjusted square foot prices seem reasonable with the subject, except the subject to such a small lot compared to the 3 comparables. How does that fit? Should it be, does the lot size make not much difference, or?
It would likely have some effect on the market value. I'm not sure how much value I could attribute to the lot size difference.
And its location, bus route, bus stop, commercial adjacent, all of that would have that combined with a small lot?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all my questions. If you would like to present your evidence, I would be more interested to hear it.
Actually, first of all, actually, this year assessment, I don't feel that is realistic as a whole, not only my houses. That's my feelings. Because actually, usually, I bought this house for my kids' school, and I'm not making any business or something like that. I sell this year, I will sell. I bought this house this year, I will sell next year the house. I don't have any that kind of intention. I just bought this house to live over here. So every year, if the assessment value is increases, it costs me more. Number one. And whatever comparison here is all 3 is way bigger house than mine. My one is very small, tiny house. I have 2 kids. We are a small family. I'm okay with my little house. I just give you an example that one of these 86 Thorn Hill Bay, it was assessed based on 2016, 331,000. It could be the owner, he wants to sell this house and maybe it's overpriced. So he was asking 325,000, but finally end up with 300,000. It was sold. This is the
Sorry, which property are you referring to?
86 Thorn Hill Bay, the third one. So sometimes the city assessment may not be real price.
And this
That's it,
information,
Yeah.
this information you're giving us is the assessed value of these properties?
Yeah, I took the assessment from the city website, and this is actually whatever they asking and whatever they sold, this is collected from one of my
And
realtor.
when did this property sell?
I guess 17 or 18, something like that, I'm not so sure. Exactly.
Okay, carry on, sorry for interrupting.
So actually, I give you another two, I took from the city website, the paper, which is close to my house.
Yes.
That is actually the real value of my house. Because actually when I bought this house, I bought it into
These
2000.
are, sorry for cutting in, these are assessed values, assessments that you've given us.
Yeah, this is very close, and it can be comparable to my houses.
But these properties haven't sold in the reference period, they're just
No,
assessments.
it's not sold, it's
Yes.
just assessment.
So
I took
we
it
don't
from-
compare assessments to other assessments. We compare it to sales to see if it's correct.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Because this
Sorry, but a
comparison.
little clarification about this. I don't know what this is. It looks to me like it is an advertisement for a sale. What is this from?
It was actually I took one from my realtor. The house was asking 325,000.
When?
I'm not so sure, it could be 2017 or 18.
Okay, well, that's something we need to know in order to know whether this is evidence we could even look at.
I'm sorry, because I'm not that professional, I just collected.
Yeah, okay, continue
I
on.
thought, so whatever comparison she gave here is actually way higher prices house.
Yes,
It's nothing comparable to my little house.
We've seen.
My house can be comparable, whatever I took, there is two more houses. It's not selling price, it's the city assessment value.
Mhm.
I think one is 275,000 or 77,000.
Yeah, we've seen this, yes.
Yeah, so when I bought this house, it's 265. In the first year, it went up to 289. I was not aware of this whole process. I was as a new house owner, I don't know how to handle these kind of things. That's why it's already overpriced. So last year, when I came, they down to 286 from 289. They realized that it's already overpriced.
Okay.
So my thinking actually, we just bought this house to live over there. This selling price does not actually always applicable for everyone. If I sold this house, maybe next year, it could be assessed whatever is the sold price, but not before that. Because the first assessed value 326 or even 305, if somebody can sell my house to 305, I'm willing to sell this house. I have not done anything with my houses, no upgradation, anything.
Okay, let's see if there's any questions for you.
Yeah.
Assessor, have any questions of the appellant?
No, I have no questions.
Questions? Ms. Rempel, you have any questions?
I would like to know, what do you think is fair for an assessment for your house based upon sales that you were
To
aware
me, it
of?
should be fair, it's 280, I guess.
Okay.
And you indicated that you have not made any upgrades to your home
Nothing,
since you
no.
purchased it in 2013.
Nothing.
Okay, thank you.
You live in it, you're not renting it out, is that
No,
correct?
I live
You live in it.
I just bought this for my daughters. One is going to U of M and one is going to Acadian.
But your whole family lives there? You live there as well?
No, yeah, my whole family.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's all my questions.
I don't have any questions. So if the assessor would like a short summation,
That's okay.
would you like to, say anything in summation?
My feeling that actually the city assessment should be more realistic so that we can afford. Say, from 286 initially it went up to 326, doesn't make sense to me in all of these houses. This time actually I don't feel that it's realistic.
Okay, thank you. Leave it with us and we will have a look at it and you will receive a letter from the Board of Revision telling you. what's-
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for your time.
We'll deal with 2 Ambleside Boulevard. Mr. Patak. Thank you for coming and being patient with us.
Please state your full name. And you swear the evidence about the present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you. The subject property's roll number is 1000-269-0800. Address is 2 Ambleside Boulevard. This is a 2 one-story style house located in South Tuxedo. The year built and effective year built are 1990. The living area is 2,265 square feet. There is a full basement with basement finish. There are 3 full bathrooms, 2 half baths, and 1 shower. There is central air conditioning with 1 fireplace. There is an attached multiple car garage. The lot size is 10,771 square feet and it's located on an external corner. The 2020 assessment is $614,000, which is an assessment per square foot of $271.08. The subject property was purchased in 2013 for $550,000. I have 4 comparable properties located in South Tuxedo. Comparable number 1 is a 2 one-story style. Comparables 2, 3, and 4 are 2 stories. The year built ranges from 1979 to 1985. The effective year built ranges from 1981 to 1995. The living area ranges from 2,056 square feet to 2,393 square feet. All comparables have full basements. Comparables 1, 2, and 3 have basement finish, and comparable number 4 has an unfinished basement. The bathroom count ranges from 2.5 to 3.5. All comparable properties have central air conditioning and 1 fireplace. All have attached multiple car garages. The lot size ranges from 8,424 square feet to 15,138 square feet. Comparable number 4 has a commercial adjacent influence. The sale prices range from $601,000 to $665,000. The time-adjusted sale prices range from $608,000 to $684,300. And the time-adjusted price per square foot ranges from $256.97 to $319.99. The homeowner did attend the preview program for the 2020 assessment, and an assessor also reviewed comparables at that time and determined that there be no change to the assessment.
you have any questions of the assessor?
Thank you very much, Mr. Wright. Couple of questions, and first question is, could you tell me what's the increase in the average increase in the price of the houses in the kind of house I had during this period? Because from the city I got from 2 to 7% was the overall increase in the price. Do you know specifically for this one?
I don't know specifically 2 stories in South Tuxedo. I know in Market Region 7, it was around 6.9 to 7% increase.
Yeah, because the range was 2 to 7, that's what I got from the website,
Yeah,
so, okay.
yeah.
So the maximum is up to 7%, okay?
Yeah,
And,
sorry, I think it may be around between 5 to 6 for Market Region.
5 to 6%, okay. And second thing is, when I attended the preview program, there was one of the comparable there was 102 Hawford Drive. I don't see that. That was one of the comparable which was given, and that was the sale time adjusted sale price per square foot was 234.69. That's missing in the new sets of comparators here.
Okay.
102 of Hawford Drive. The reason is because that kind of backs onto my house, and
Okay.
that's why it's very important, comparative.
Hawkwood, did you
Yeah,
say?
HOPWOOD, 102 Hawford Drive. If you all want, I have a copy of what they have given to me. I thought the city would have it, so.
Yeah, you could, we could have a look at it.
It's the assessor's room.
Is it in the assessors? No, it's not.
The new list doesn't have, the old one had it, the one which was given for the preview program.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Do you
we
want a
just,
copy, sir?
no, we don't need copies, we just have a quick look at it.
That's the comparator 3.
Sorry, why are you calling that comparable 3?
No, because that
That's
was,
the old one.
This is what was presented at the preview program. And he's interested in showing us comparable
Oh, I
three, so. Okay, you can continue with your questions.
And the last thing I wanted to thank you for the map that you have provided. There are 2 things that are missing on the map. If you see at the bottom of the map, right at the south are the railway tracks that run.
Yes.
And just on the east side of it is the Kepeong Barracks, which have kind of now, under consideration of redevelopment. So that has, both these have very important influence on the recent sale price of the, since end of 2017 when the decision was made. So I thought that's very important to point out in the evidence what Ms. Wright has provided.
Good, very good. Okay, we'll have.
So these are the 3 questions I had. Should I present my evidence?
No, we'll have questions from the panel first. Ms. Rempel, do you have any questions?
I don't think I have any questions at this time, no. Thank you.
Mr. Beretsky?
I guess my question would be, what evidence is there of an impact on market values in this area as a result of what has been happening with Kepeong Barracks? Anybody familiar with?
I can show in my evidence, but I'll wait for.
We don't have any market evidence yet as to what impact that would have on the value of properties in the area.
Thank you. That's all.
And I don't have any questions of the assessor, so if you'd like to present your evidence.
Could I get mine? Thank you. So, the city inspected the property just before the last assessment, and the price went up by about above $50,000 at the last assessment from, I think it was $498 to $565, so about $65,000 it went up. The city had assessed, so I didn't argue at that time. I probably now think in retrospect I should have appealed at that time.
Sorry, that was an inspection of what date? Did you say?
That was in 2016 for 2018 assessment. And based on that, the city had determined the price of $565,000 at that time. As I pointed out, even from that value, since last assessment, the assessed value of my house has gone up by 9% for no reason, when the average, what Ms. Wright tells us is about 6 to 7%. So, third thing is I wanted to point out was assessment, because of the uncertainty about the Capion Barrack, what's happening, and the learned board member asked about the impact. The impact actually can be seen in the sale prices. So the last comparator which Ms. Wright has provided today, that's the comparator 4, 79 Ramsgate Bay, which sold very close to the date which is April 2000. It was sold in 2018, and the time adjusted sale price was $256.97. Although this property is a lot north from the track, so it's far away from the track, as you can see in the map that is provided. It's north of, actually it is close to Grant than it is close to Taylor, far away from the track where the index property is located. The other thing I wanted to tell you, there was another property which is 66 Coleraine Crescent. It was a 25 square foot single storied house. The only reason that was not it sold in May of 2018, so just after this period. And it is, if you look at my spreadsheet that I have kind of compiled, I've included it at the end of it. 66 Coleraine Crescent. That's the second page, yeah. So it's sold on 15th of May. And it is a rare bungalow in Tuxedo, which is not very common. And that the time adjusted sale price, or the sale price for that is $240 per square foot. So it did have an impact, since end of 2018 when the Capion Barrack came into the news. So it did have an impact on the sale price of the property. The two other comparators which the city had included, one is 47 Newberry Crescent. Again, this is close to Grant, north of Taylor, rather than close to the tracks that we are talking about. And I know that, I learned quite a bit today in this experience, listening to the discussion, that we don't compare what the assessed value of other property is. But the property, I took out, my first table shows here the assessed value by the city. So something which is closest, 615,000, 79 Coleraine Crescent, the assessed price by city is only 551,000. That's the first line of the table.
Just so I understand your table here,
Sorry, sorry if it's too complicated.
I'm not understanding why you have essentially these listed twice. You have the three of the assessor's comparables, and then you put in Hopwood instead of Ramsgate. And here we have some of the same, but some different. What are these?
Sure.
And what are these?
Sure, thank you very much for asking that. So these 4 comparables were the ones which were given to me at the preview program. So these were from the preview program. I didn't know about the Ramsgate property till I came today, so I didn't know about that. Thanks for pointing that out. I added the other 3 property, as you can see at the bottom, because I couldn't find any comparable, but I looked at all the sales from the city side which sold. And I do appreciate that the area is a little, they are a little bit over the area which was, but I didn't have anything else to compare it with. So those are the 4 ones. And I just tried to show over here that what is the city assessed price of those properties which they are using as a comparables.
So then in this second list,
Correct.
you have 79 Coleraine
Which
and
is
102 Hopwood, which you have up above here.
Both of them are above.
Uh-huh. And then you've got 3 that
Are not in.
that are not part of either what you received previously or what you've seen
Correct.
today as the assessor's
But
comparables.
I looked at the sale book and those were from the same area of the same period, so I kind of chose them
Okay.
as a comparable.
So you derived those from the sales book.
Yes.
And then presumably, because this value is lower, you're relying on this set as your comparables.
Well,
Is that what?
yeah, so because I saw that there were properties which sold for much lower than what the city had compared it with, so that's why I relied on those values.
All right, sorry, I'll hold other questions until later. I just wanted to know what I
No,
was
sure,
looking
thank you
at.
very much for clarification. So even based on, even based on the latest comparator, which is the comparable 4, which was provided to me today, the sale price of, or the fair market value of this property cannot be more than 582,000, which, based on 256.97 per square foot. Now, if you look at the trend from April 2017, June 2017, the sale price has kind of gone down of all the properties. So in April, it was, from 270 to 256, and the last one, 66 Coldring Crescent, which I have quoted, that is $240 per square foot.
You're saying on, well, we'll leave that for the questions. Is that your presentation?
That's it.
Okay, see if the assessor has questions.
No, I don't have any questions right now.
Panel members, Gisela?
Yes, I am wondering, I just want to ensure on your chart that you presented us, the registration date is the sales date? Is that
Registration date is the sales date, correct?
Okay. And I am wondering, you have also got 66 Coleraine Crescent listed on your chart,
Mhm.
which was sold subsequent to,
Just a month after that, yeah, and
Right.
I did explain that because I couldn't find any other comparator.
Right.
And I didn't know about the Ramsgate one, which came today. I wasn't aware of that sale. So whatever I could find, I tried to pick that up, so.
but you indicated that you thought that the sale of 66 Coleraine Crescent was being impacted by the Capion
Correct,
barracks,
correct.
and how do you know that?
Well, because of the location, both 60, the news came in early 2018 that the federal government has finally agreed
Yeah.
to transfer the rights. So that was in March of 2018, and the
Right.
sale was in May 2018. Even before that, if you look at the comparable 4, which was in January 2018, this sold at 256.
So you're making the supposition that that was why
I'm just looking at the trend, ma'am.
of the sale of one house?
2 houses.
Oh, okay. Which is Ramsgate and Coleraine
Coleraine.
Crescent.
Yes, ma'am.
I was also wanting to ask you, you had indicated that you felt that 582 was what you were looking at in terms of comparing your home to the Ramsgate Bay?
Based on what the city had provided, means I didn't have more. I was thinking more on the lines of 66 Coleraine Crescent.
Okay.
Based on that, I had, it would have come to 543.
Mhm.
But just to be fair, I didn't see.
Okay, thank you. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mark? So, your second list here is properties that you think are comparable. It's not all sales in this neighborhood. Is that correct?
No, they're not all sales in the neighborhood.
So you're maintaining that there has been a reduction in value in that neighborhood as a result of those two sales that you're looking at.
But those were the closest to the date, but there are other sales too, like, we cannot, means if you look at the trend right now, there are about 20-25 properties on the market, they are not just selling, you know. But we can't take that evidence because that's beyond 2018, so April, so I didn't bring those in.
Of these ones that you have provided, is there an individual one that you think is closest characteristically to your property?
I thought 66 Colred Crescent, but you mentioned that the cutoff is April, that was sold in May. So if that is taken away, I would probably take comparable 4, you know.
The assessor's comparable for?
SSS comparable 4. Having said that, this is further north of the track, so that's the closest. The other one I would think was 102 Hopwood Drive, which I had included, which was provided to me as a comparable in the at the preview program. Because that house just backs on it. If I could show you on the map. This is Ramsgate Bay. Sorry, this is this is my house,
Mm-hmm.
2 Ambleside, and this is Hopwood Drive. This is Hopwood Drive. This is 102 Hopwood Drive. And the Ramsgate Bay one, which I had mentioned earlier, is, you know, it's kind of close to Grant. This is where the railway tracks are.
And are you familiar with what is going on in these large lots?
This is Ramsgate Bay. So these are houses here on Ramsgate Bay. This is the barrack area. This whole area is the barrack area.
Are you saying, but these are not single-family houses?
These are single family. This is
On these large lots?
this is Ramsgate Bay. Ramsgate Bay comes over here. There's a senior condo complex over here.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
So-
lots of condos on
Yeah,
Swindon Way.
Swindon Way, there are lots of condos. These are all condos
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, and what is happening on this lot
No,
that number 4 backs onto?
Maybe multifamily of some kind?
Yeah, these are all, on Swindon Way, these are all multifamily
That's
homes.
multifamily.
Yeah, these are all multifamily homes.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't have any questions. Thank you for your presentation. Leave it with us, and the board will get back to you, send you a letter with the results of our deliberations.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Concludes the hearing. Thank you for.
Wait a minute.
No,
We have to do the.
Yeah, we have some shows.
Yes, pardon me. Okay.
So
There's 3.
there's recommendations on
There
some.
are 4, I believe, all
Others.
4 recommendations.
So then what we should do is step out, decide what we're going to do with these. Come back in. And let the assessor know what we're going to do.
Okay.
Because this is deliberation. Our
It'll be easier for the
decision.
assessor.
Yeah.
It'll be easier for the assessor to step out for a minute, and we'll,
What?
just-
Is the camera off?
It is on right now.
The camera is on.
Are we going into recess to decide this?
Yes.
We would do, that's why, because the camera is on. Our policy is we step out of the room. So we can gesticulate wildly and roll our eyes and things like that
We
and not be
have,
seen on camera.
We have an in recess screen if we're going into recess,
We have a what?
so that the camera goes off if we go into recess.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's new.
It is new.
We could do that instead.
So we
And
are,
then she could leave and we could stay.
So we're going into recess?
Yes.
But that necessitates you going out and doing something
For
somewhere?
a second, yeah.
You know,
Let's
if
just
this
go.
was a recess to consider some particular point at length, that would be a good idea to do that. In this case, we'll probably be quick. It's a good thing to stretch our legs anyway. Okay. We will go through them. I believe there's recommendations on most of them, and perhaps you could give us a short explanation on what the recommendation entails. Where do we start?
We start with 23 Collindale Cove.
Okay. So would you like me to go through my comparables or just information on the
No,
subject property?
just give us a reason for the, read in the roll number and the address and the original assessment and the recommended assessment.
Let me just find it first.
Okay, if we have any questions, we will.
There we are. Number 7.
The subject property is roll number 030412245000. The address is 23 Collindale Cove. This is a two-story house built in Fort Richmond. The 2020 assessment was $522,000, which is $207.80 per square foot. It was purchased in January 2017 for $355,000. So when the property was purchased, it was advertising as needing a lot of TLC. So I completed an inspection of the property on August 1st. And I found that since the property was purchased, the owner has actually removed a lot of the finishes. It's in mid-renovation at this point, and he is completing the renovations. So I searched for comparables that needed work at the time of sale. The best comparable was number 3, which is the same age, similar size, no basement finish, and it was advertised as needing work at the time of sale. So that was where I put the most focus on deciding on a value of $375,000, which is $149.28 per square foot. So the new recommended 2020 assessment is $375,000, and the property owner accepted this recommendation by email on August 1st.
So will the assessment department be following up when the renovations are complete? Is that
Yes, I
how
have.
you do things?
Yeah, I have put a follow-up on that property, so we will be contacting him periodically just to see where things are at.
Any other questions? I'm fine.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Nineteen Oberlin Road.
Ready? Subject property is roll number 0304153700. Address is 19 Oberlin Road. It is a one-story in Fort Richmond, built in 1967. The 2020 assessment is originally $403,000, which is $306.23 per square foot. The property was purchased post-reference, and I completed an inspection with the owners. Not sure if I have the exact date here. Oh, July 31st, I completed an inspection. The property is fairly dated. They do plan on renovating, but it's in the early stages where not too many renovations have been completed at this point. And then they also provided a quote for foundation repair that needs to be done for a little over $50,000. So I looked at,
Pardon me for,
sorry?
I didn't hear that.
A quote from a foundation repair company. The foundation actually needs to be lifted and repaired. So the quote was for a little over $50,000 for that repair. So I looked for comparables that were similar condition, a bit more dated, similar to the subject. And then I subtracted off the quote of the foundation repair from that assessment. So I recommended that the 2020 assessment be reduced to $295,000, which is $224.16 per square foot, to reflect the condition of the house and the foundation work that needs to be completed. And the property owner accepted this recommendation by phone on August 1st.
Any questions from the panel?
So the comparable 1 to 4, your time adjusted sale price per square foot is pretty tight, with the exception of number 3, 268 goes up to 291.
Yeah.
You're settling in at 224, but that 224 is reflective of the $50,000 reduction?
Yeah.
Okay. What would it have been before that?
I was looking in the range of about $350 if it was in similar condition to the comparables. And
How much?
About 350,000.
Oh, okay. Sorry, square foot.
Yeah, per square foot. $265.96 per square foot.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, that's all the questions. Thank you. Seven Rutgers Bay.
The subject property is roll number 030428180000, address 7 Rutgers Bay, a two-story house located in Fort Richmond. The 2020 assessment was $357,000, which is $225.66 per square foot. I was in contact with the homeowner, and the reason for her appeal was that we had the assessment having a finished basement. So I was able to remove the basement finish, and the new assessment for 2020 is $343,000, which is $216.81 per square foot. And the owner accepted this recommendation by email on August 1st.
Questions?
I have none.
Were you able to inspect the property, did you say? I didn't-
The owner sent in photos of the basement to confirm that it was finished.
Okay, thank you. And 40 Kears Lake Drive.
Subject property is roll number 10004064600. Address is 40 Kears Lake Drive. This is a two-story in South Tuxedo. The 2020 assessment was at $858,000, which is $298.95 per square foot. I inspected the property with the homeowner on July 31st, and I proposed a new 2020 assessment of $760,000, which is $264.81 per square foot. Property owner accepted this recommendation by email on August 2nd.
May I ask why you reduced it?
It originally was quite a bit higher than comparable properties, and then when I inspected, there was a deck that I had to remove from the assessment that had been removed, and the property is fairly original. The kitchen is original and shows quite a bit of wear. Any of the wood is the more dated early 90s wood style. The basement finish right now is in below average condition. There was water that came into the basement, so they're repairing that. The carpet is stained, there's some damage to the drywall. As well as on the main floor, there are some water stains around the pot lights in the kitchen and living room, indicating some issues with water.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No. Okay, thank you. That will conclude the hearing. Thank you for coming.
Keep up the good work. Very thorough.